cloud. Okay, Pilates hotties, let's do this. Is everyone feeling ready and great? Okay, standing up, feet under your pelvis. Just finding where you need to be at the moment. Take a deep breath and then just ground down through your feet, lengthen up through the crown of the head, and just feel when you start to bring awareness to your posture that automatically your muscles start to work. So you don't even really need to do anything. Your abs will work when you start to bring awareness to how you're standing. So grounding down to the big toe, press the pinky toe down, press your heel down, take a nice big inhale up. Exhale, big inhale up. Holding the arms up. Excuse me, hinge back. I took that big inhale. Now I can't talk. Sitting into a squat. Sorry. Hinging back at the hip. Press up and squeeze the glutes. I don't know what that was about. And squeeze. Right? Maybe inhale some dust. So we're just hinging at the hip, pushing the booty back. If you need to widen your feet a little bit to accommodate for your body, go ahead. We're just going to do 5 more here. Hinge at the hip and press back, squeeze. So imagining, like I do have something behind me. So I'm just imagining, I just tap down. I'm not really imagining because I'm touching it, but it's that hinge back. You're sitting into a seat, more of the butt back, less of a knee bend. So the knees just bend because your butt is going back. Hold this one down, little tiny pulses, keeping the thighs tracking even for 5, 4 abs in, 3, 2, and last one all the way back up. This time, big inhale up, exhale over to the toes. And you can bend the knees here, run the knees out. And then from there, we walk out to our plank position. Finding our plank, sliding the shoulder blades down, drawing those abs up and in. Wrap the ribs in. Inhale on your exhale to downward dog. Lifting the sits bones high, and let's pedal the knees out here. Taking any little movement you might need to get the body warming up. And then rolling your body back forward into the plank. Find your strong plank, firming up the thighs, draw the abs in, the hips are feeling supported. Slide the shoulder blades down, float the right leg up, point the toe, and little tiny pulses up. So just feel lengthened. You want to feel like you're just getting really long. Lowering that foot down, other leg up, point the toe. Little lifts, get long. And lowering down back to your downward dog. Slide the shoulder blades away from the ears. Little bend to the knee, and then let's lift the sits bones a little bit higher and press the heels back. See if you can find a little more length. And then we roll back forward into the plank. Draw the shoulders up from the ears, drawing those abs up and in. Breathe. Just draw the belly in, just focusing on the stillness here. Firm up the thighs to help support as well. Lengthen those heels back. One more breath, and we'll take it back to the downward dog. This time we're going to reach the right leg up to the sky, bend the knee, open the hip, and take that stretch. Really feeling a stretch out through the right oblique. So whatever you need to do, let that weight of the leg come open a little bit more. And then we square the hips, stepping that foot through to the hands, setting up here, and then reaching your right hand up to the sky. I love how that gives me a little unwind here. And we'll bring that hand back down, step back into your plank, holding in your plank. Drawing the abs up and in. We're going to come onto the right forearm, onto the left forearm, back up onto the right hand and left hand. Doing that 2 more times with the right hand. Being the leader. 1 more time. Taking it at your pace, staying as still as you can. Hold here and then back to your downward dog. Take a breath. Take the left leg up to the sky, bend the knee, open the hip, and stretching open that left side oblique. And 1 more breath there. And we'll re-square the hips, stepping the left foot through to the hands, and then taking the left hand up to the sky, unwind here. Really reaching the left fingertips up, side the shoulder blades away from the ears. And then we'll bring that hand back down, step back into your plank. This time, left forearm, right forearm, left hand, right hand. How still can you keep your hips? Left forearm, right forearm, left hand, right hand. One more time. All the way back up. Holding your planks and the shoulder blades away from the ears. And then knees touch the mat. Press back, child's pose, take a breath. Reaching the fingertips far forward as you drop your sits bones to your heels. Lengthening everything out. Inhale and exhale, sliding yourself all the way out onto the mat to lay on your belly here. Let's let the forearms fold together, glue the forehead to the forearms, and just shake everything out. Letting go of any tension that's in your low back and your sacrum. And then finding your sits bones or your hip points pressing down and your pubic bone pressing down. Drawing the abs up and in. Find that the ribs are also starting to connect in. So you might need to adjust your body here. Let everything relax and then floating just the right leg up and lower, just the left leg. So alternating sides. So waking up the abs from the front side, from laying on them. Do you feel your belly connect into your spine? And then just alternating leg lift. Let's keep the right leg up and hold. Point the toe, little tiny pulses up, right at the base of the glute. Can you keep this out of your low back? This morning is feeling challenging for me, but I'm sure it's easy for you guys. And lower that leg down. Floating the left leg up. And little tiny lifts. Squeezing at the base of the glute, firming up the booty as you just tiny lift. Lower that leg down, draw the abs in. If it feels good for both legs, connect the pubic bone to the mat, float both legs up. And lower. Lifting both thighs off of the mat. And lower. Draw the belly in, wrap the ribs in, lift. And lower. This time we lift and we stir the legs around. In opposite directions, they move away from each other. They stir around. And around. Relax the shoulders. And let's reverse it. Feeling how the glutes are working to move those legs around and your abs are stabilizing you. Bring it back to center. Connect the heels, turn the toes out, open the knees slightly wider, bringing the heels close to your bum and float the thighs up and lower. Drawing the abs up and in. You can let the shoulders relax, float the thighs and lift. So can the upper body stay relaxed and not be doing the work? Lift those thighs up and hold them in small pulses up. Breathe. Hold them up. Send the legs out straight without letting the thighs drop, and then reconnect the heels. Lengthen the legs, and then rebend. Press the heels to the sky. So you lengthen, bring the heels back together, do a pulse up. Extend the legs long. Bring it back together, do a pulse up. One more time. Just hold the heels in towards the bum and little pulses for 10. Pull the belly in for 5. And last one, extend the legs all the way out. Shake everything out. Lengthen the arms long to the front. Slide the shoulder blades away from the ears. Draw the abs in. We'll float the right arm and the left leg up off the mat. And the left arm, right leg. So starting with just a single arm, single leg. Keeping the neck lengthened. And then when you're ready, you could turn this into a swim and lift both arms and legs up off the mat. And if not, you could stay just how we were going. Otherwise, both arms and legs are lifted and we're swimming. You're drawing your shoulder blades into your back pocket. You're using the strong glutes that we just woke up to protect in the low back, pulling the abs in for 5, 3, 2, and last one, lowering everything back down. Gently press yourself to your child's pose and take a breath there. Letting your tailbone be heavy, like there's a little weight on your tailbone, pulling your bum back. And then someone's reaching your fingertips a little further forward, so you lengthen through your spine. And then we're gonna roll up onto hands and knees, meeting with the knees underneath the shoulders. Our knees underneath the pelvis, not under the shoulders, your hands underneath your shoulders. That would be good. Rounding into your cat stretch. Pushing your belly button up into your spine. And then head up, tail up. And then into your cat. Into your cow. One more time. Taking any little movement you might need to stretch it out and prepare. And then we come right back into center, letting the abs relax, and then magnetizing your belly button up into your spine. Letting the abs just relax, and then magnetize those abs up and in, lift out of your pelvic floor, relax your shoulders one more time, let the abs just completely hang out, and then pull the belly button up and in, extending your right arm and your left leg at the same time. Holding it there, drop the fingers and the toes to touch the mat, and lift. Fingers and the toes drop to touch the mat and lift. 3 more like that. One more. And then we'll meet with the hand and the knee right back down. Other side. Left arm lengthens, right leg lengthens. Hold, draw the abs and square the hips. And just drop the fingers and the toes down and lift. Everything stays still. Check in on your left foot. Is it staying relaxed or is it helping to balance you? 2. Lift and hold. Hand and knee back down. And we're going to take just a few moving opposite arm, opposite leg. Just at your pace, opposite arm, opposite leg. Connecting the shoulder blade down into the back pocket. Moving at your own pace. Do 2 more each way. Last one. And complete that. You can go into a couple cat cows. Just loosening up the spine. One more time. Bring it all the way back to center. Back into the neutral spine, roll the toes under, draw the abs in, shift your weight slightly forward, make sure the eye of the elbow is facing forward, pressing through the heel of your head and your fingertips, and lift the knees a micro inch up off the mat. Drawing the belly button up and in. Start to find you can activate out of your pelvic floor for 5, 4, 3, 2. We drop the knees down, turn the fingertips to the back, and then just shift your weight back slightly, taking a little stretch in the forearm. So you don't want to break your wrist, but just get a little stretch. Maybe you circle it around. First your circle. And then back to center. Setting up the hands how they were with the eye of the elbow facing forward. And again, we're going to float the knees an inch up off the mat. Shift your weight slightly forward, micro bend the elbows backwards and straighten. Tiny bend, tiny straighten. So into the tricep, the elbow goes backwards. It's a micro movement, and then hold it at your little micro bend and tiny press, tiny little presses for 5. And last one, bring the knees down. Turn the back of the hand onto the mat where your fingertips touch or face your knees. So the back of the hand is down, palm is facing up, and then shift back slightly. Ooh, that's a stretch. You can rock side to side, whatever feels good as a circle. Whatever works. And then we bring it back to center. One more time. We're going to come back up into that hover. If it feels good, we draw the right knee to the chest and then kick it long. Pull the right knee in and kick it long. 3, keeping the left knee close to the mat. 2, and last one, come back to your hover with the knees, reset. Left knee draws in and extend. Draw in, extend. 2 more. Keep that right knee in a hover. Last one, come back to your hover and just hold for 5, 4, abs in, 3, 2, and last one, knees down. Press back child's pose. Reach the fingertips as far forward as you can. Take a breath there. The knees can be wide, the chest drops to the mat. And let's just reach the hands over to the right to take a stretch to the left side body. Want to get the muscles lengthened so they don't just stay compressed. Breathing into the space between the ribs on the left side, expanding that left lung. Last breath here. On your exhale, walk your hands back to center, and we walk them to the other side. Again, expanding the space between the ribs on the right side, expanding the right lung. And we'll walk that back to center, rolling yourself all the way up, coming onto your bum, grabbing your ring or your band, whatever you're gonna stretch with, and setting up here. Sitting up super tall. You can have a bend in the knee if that's gonna get your spine up straight. Roll the shoulder blades down wherever works best for you. To imagine your back is against a wall. Arms reach forward, your hands are lengthening out, but you have a micro bend in the elbow and a tiny squeeze. Whether it's a block, it's a ball, it's imaginary. I want you to think right at the base of the shoulder blades, the energy is coming out from the fingertips. Lift out of your pelvic floor. Squeeze. And then hold it tight without moving anything else. The arms lengthen above the head. Slide the shoulder blades down away from the ears. And then reaching the arms back forward. So the abs are working just to keep us sitting up tall. How still can you be with only the arms moving? Lifting up out of your pelvis. We're going to hold this one above your head. Lengthen the shoulder blades down, reach the fingertips up, and little squeezes here. Eyes continue to track forward. Neck is long. Freedom in your neck for 5. And last one, hold the arms there, tuck your pelvis, roll back halfway. And then come up to sit. We lean back halfway, sliding your tailbone underneath you. And come up, slide back halfway and hold. And then we're gonna take it down an inch. Down an inch, down an inch till you're all the way on the mat. Hands are gonna be right over the shoulders. Squeeze the ring here. From the back of the thighs down, you're giving a little squeeze. As you squeeze, can you start to draw your abs in? With each squeeze, you're lifting out of your pelvic floor. Breathe, holding it in tight, tuck your pelvis and roll up halfway. Just keeping the tailbone underneath you. Relax the shoulder blades down. We're gonna rotate the rib cage over to the right and rotate back through center. And twist over to the left. So you've got tension in the ring, but try to be soft through your chest. Twist and center, keeping the legs as still as you can. Twist and center. You've got one more, giving it a squeeze. One more time, you twist over to the right and back to the center. Twist over to the left and back to center, and rounding up and over to your toes. Take a dive forward and hook the ring around your feet. Take a stretch. We'll hook it around the right foot, roll down, taking the right leg up to the sky. We'll take our stretch here. Reaching the right sits bone forward, firming the left leg down. And just breathe into the back of the leg here. Bend and straighten of the knee if that feels like that's what's needed to help find a little more length. When it feels good, you'll just hold the leg up. Maybe you're helping to push that right sits bone a little further forward, and breathe. Trying to reach that heel up to the sky. Shoulders relax. Let's take a couple more breaths here. Exhale, release that, hooking it to the toes for your calf stretch, pulling the toes down, heel up. Pushing the heel up. Let's point and flex into it a couple times, finding a little more length in your calf. Holding the toes down, push the heel up. And bringing it back to the center of the foot, spiraling the thigh open and out to the side. Pushing the back of the left thigh down as you reach through the right inner thigh. And breathe into that inner thigh and just finding a little more length with each breath. Not letting the leg pull you over. Let's ground down to that left shoulder. Take 2 more breaths. And we'll lengthen that leg up with an exhale, pushing the right hip away and let the leg fall a little bit across the body and stretch the side of the hip. This morning I saw something on Instagram about language, and it was saying how come 11 isn't onti on, or like onti one. I'm also melanging in some French, but isn't it funny? Why is it 11 and not onti? Like 21. Did we ever think about that before? It had me cracking up when I saw it. I was like, good point. And then we'll melt into our spinal twist. And so that's all I can hear in my head now is onti one. Letting the leg fall across the body, breathing in that low back. In the right leg long. And again, rolling up to catch onto the left leg. And taking it all the way up to the sky as you imprint your spine back down into the mat. And breathe. Just settling into it with that leg up. And then you can add your bends and straightens if it feels good. Shoulders relax. Maybe you can push your left sits bone a little further forward to keep that the leg tracking straight. Actually, I guess probably it would be like 1T1, not 1T, 1T, 20. I don't know why I can't let this go, but it's really comical to me. And we'll release that, hooking it onto the toes, pulling the toes down, heel up. We'll point and flex. And then holding the toes down, heel up. Releasing that back to the center of the foot, spiraling the foot open, or the leg open and out to the side, stretching through that inner thigh. Shoulders are melted down. Just breathe into it. Take a couple more breaths there. We're going to extend that leg on the exhale back up to the sky, letting it come a little bit across the body, stretching through the side of the hip. Make sure your pelvis stays planted down so you can get that stretch to the side. A few breaths here. On On the next exhale, we're going to melt into that spinal twist, and your leg folded side. You can put your ring or your band to the side. Cross body in the opposite direction. And we're going to extend that leg all the way back up to straight. Shake it out. Everything is long and loose. Let's bend the knees, feet to the mat a couple times, just arch and imprint, just to set your pelvis and make it ready to stay in neutral, letting it settle into wherever it feels like is the comfortable position for you. And then you can do your check-in with your little triangle to make sure your hip points and pubic bone are in one even plane with your little bit of low back space. Lengthen arms up to the sky. Imagine that you still have the ring in your hands. Give energy between the heel of the hand. Inhale, exhale, just head, neck, and shoulders lifts, reaching forward, come up one extra little inch, and then lower back down. Just 4 more like that. Inhale, exhale, just let the upper abs know that they're going to be responsible for supporting the head, neck, and shoulders. So you can lift without moving your pelvis. The next one's going to stay on the lift and then reaches to the heels, little reach. For 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Lower all the way back down. One more time. We lift and hold, and we bring the right leg into table, marching it up and placing it down. Left leg lift. So seeing how you can lift your leg without anything else having to move. Stay in your neutral with your line between your chin and your chest. One more each way like that. And we lower everything back down. You can release the arms to the sides. Now we'll bring the right leg into tabletop with the head down and left leg up to meet it. Drawing the belly in, shoulders relax, and then tap the right toes forward and lift and left. So now into your marching. Pressing the back bottom ribs down into the mat so the front ribs can soften into the body. Your belly drops down. If you need to, you bring your hands onto your stomach and feel that you're pulling your belly down as opposed to letting it press up. Maybe that means the legs aren't going to go as far. Checking in that your shoulders aren't finding tension. Super controlled. So we could easily march through this fast and move the legs and not really consider the transverse abdominis. But if you take it a little bit slower and really be aware of your form, we're going to do 3 more each way at your own pace. So maybe it's fast for you because you're super controlled, and maybe this morning you need to go a little bit slower. I need to go a little bit slower this morning. Last one. And bring it all the way back to center. Give the knees a little hug. Bringing the legs back to table. Hands to the sky. Inhale, exhale. We're going to float head, neck, and shoulders up, reaching your fingertips forward. And now let both feet go forward and float them up. They tap out and float it up. With super control, nothing else is moving. Head always has the option to be on the mat. You've got a great view of your abs. So see, not looking all the way down, but with that little gaze to your belly, that your abs are sinking. You're lifting out of your pelvic floor. We're going to let the legs hang out at their point of control. Keeping the feet together, the knees are just going to open and close. Finding some inner thigh activation as well. Drawing the abs in for 3. Last one, knees together, hug the knees in, let the head rock, come down and let it rock side to side. We'll bring the legs back to table. We'll come into hundreds prep and then into the hundreds, hands to the sky. Inhale, on your exhale, lifting head, neck, and shoulders, extend the legs long, hands reach by the hips, and then draw it back in. Inhale, exhale. Remembering that when you do come into the hundreds, you can be in parallel, you can be internal rotation, you could be external rotation. What's going to allow you to be staying up in the hundreds, which is where we're going to stay right here, and then start to pump the arms. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can be in parallel, you could be in internal rotation, you could be in external rotation, you could be in tabletop, you could be with your feet on the floor. Where are you able to take a big inhale and then exhaling it all out? Inhale. Maybe it's the legs up to the sky. Maybe that's where you're feeling most secure. Maybe it's low. It is not low for me. Inhales, big. Inhale. Two more sets. Inhales. And we just drag the legs back up to the sky, hug the knees in, let the head go down, and let the head rock side to side. Let's bring the feet down to the mat. We're going to be hip width apart, heels slightly forward of the knees, hands by the side, setting up for a strong bridge. Press those feet down, tuck the pelvis, and then firming up the tush to help lift the legs or the hips up, hugging the thighs slightly towards each other, lifting the hips a little bit higher, firming up your buns, and then sequentially imprinting it down, really using your abs to press your spine through your low back, getting rid of that curve for a moment, all the way down to pelvis in neutral. Tuck the pelvis and roll all the way up into the bridge. Wide through the collarbone, sequentially all the way down. So the legs are staying parallel, running like railroad tracks, rolling all the way up, wide through the collarbone, nice long neck, sequentially all the way down. Two more full ones. Which also is a nice little massage on the spine when you're using your abs to imprint that spine all the way back down and using your abs to roll all the way up and all the way back down. We meet right back in a neutral pelvis and we bring the legs one at a time into tabletop. Hands to the sky, single leg stretch. Exhale to lift the head, neck, and shoulders. Extend the left leg long. Make a little buffer of your hands to the right knee. Inhale, exhale, and then you push the left knee into the hands. So the hands stay right above the pelvis and the knee pushes into the hands. The hands are like a wall, so it's not coming in any further. Press and lengthen, tracking the leg directly out from the hip. You also could bring your head to the mat and not do this with your hands. This is just our challenge for this morning for 3. Breathe. 2. And we're going to come back to center, place the feet back down on the mat, head back down, tuck your pelvis, meeting back up into your bridge, holding the hips high. Push the hips up a little bit higher, tap the butt to the mat, press up, squeeze. Tap down, up, and squeeze. Can you bring some awareness into your inner thighs, making sure that the legs are staying parallel, the knees aren't falling out, they're not falling in, but the inner thighs are helping to keep that center activation. Press up, lift, down, up, and lift. Let's hold the hips up high in small little pulses up, press up. Keep reaching your sits bones towards your calves, towards your heels, towards the front of the mat. That's going to help keep your neutral. Hug the thighs slightly for 5. And last one, hold it. We're going to lift the heels, tap your right heel down and lift, left and lift. So just alternating heel drops without letting the pelvis move. Shoulders relax. Push the hips up a little bit higher, a few more here. So working on stabilization, one more. Both heels down, and we roll the spine all the way back down till we meet back into your neutral. Bring the legs to tabletop one at a time. Double leg stretch, hands up to the sky. Inhale, exhale, lift head, neck, and shoulders. Reaching your hands towards your ankles. Inhale, the arms and legs lengthen long. Exhale, circle it around. You're pulling your body through molasses. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale. Drawing the belly in. Reach. Circle. With that exhale, your abs sink even deeper. 2. Last one, but we hold it out. And then arms and legs open like a starfish and close. Open and close for 4. Breathe. Last one, bring it back to center. Circle the arms around, bring the knees in. head down, feet to the mat. Setting up for your next bridge, rolling all the way up, pushing the hips up to the sky. Slide the shoulder blades away from the ears, so keep the collarbone wide, and we'll lift both heels up, push the hips up a little bit higher, tap the butt down, press up, squeeze. Lower, lift. Press down through the big toe mound and your pinky toe, so we're not letting the ankles roll out. Lower and lift. Tap down, press up. 5. Up at the base of the booty. Hold this one all the way up. Tiny pulses up, pulse up, up. Reaching the sits bones to the front. Hug the thighs in, little lifts. Keep really open through the front of the hips. Tiny pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, hold, drop the heels sequentially, imprint in the spine. Right back down, and then legs to table, hands to the sky. Float the head, neck, shoulders up, extend the legs up to the sky, extend the left leg, grab gently behind the right thigh, give a little double pull, scissor, pull, pull. Inhale, exhale on the switch, inhale on the pull. Maybe you reach your hand up towards your ankle. Maybe you reach your hands forward. Holding the abs in for 3. We're having a challenge on the last one. 2. Last one each way. We meet back with the right leg up. We grab behind the right thigh. Walk yourself up to your ankle. Left leg stays extended or can go down. Walk your hands down. All the way down. Head touches down. Walk your hands all the way up your leg. And all the way back down. Hands are no hands. We meet right back up. Onto the sits bones, left hand to the outside of the right ankle. Sit up tall. Right hand twist back, look to your fingertips, and bring it back to center. Twist, and back to center. Slide the shoulder blade away from the ear. One more time, we twist. Back to center, switch legs. Walk your hands down to roll yourself down. Inhale, exhale, walk all the way back up. All the way down. All the way up. Back down. This time, hands or no hands. We come up. Ooh, abs are working. And then catching the hand to the outside of the ankle. Twist the left arm back. Not the arm. The hand is going back, but you're twisting your rib cage. Pelvis stays still. Last one. We come back to center. Other leg comes up. You either hang out here, or we're going to separate the legs, shoulder width apart, tuck the pelvis, and roll down to your shoulder blades and come back up for your open leg rocker. You could also take it in to rolling like a ball, but we got 3 more, however you prefer to be. Using those strong abdominal muscles too. Make sure you get that hold at the top. One more time. Come all the way back up. Legs together. Hands release. Press your spine all the way back down to the mat. When you get there, we give your body a little bit of a hug. Take a breath, circle the knees around so there's no tension in those hip flexors. And we reverse. We're coming into double straight leg blower. Hands behind the head, elbows wide to the sides. Floating head, neck, and shoulders up. Extend the legs up to the sky, staying in parallel or turn out or tabletop. Inhale to let your legs lengthen. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to lift. So it could be a micro movement. It could be a huge movement. Inhale. Exhale. You also could have your head on the mat and arms alongside your body. You got 5. Can your pelvis stay still as the legs move away from the body and then drift back up? 3, 2. Last one. Bring the legs back up. Stay here. Lower the left leg. Twist to bring the left shoulder in the direction of the right knee. Scissor the legs. Twist to the other side. You could also bend your knees here. We're going to go twist and twist with control, moving in slow motion. 2 more each way. We twist. Last one each way. We come back to center, hug the knees in, relax everything down, feet down to the mat. We're not done with our bridging yet. Arms by the sides, tuck the pelvis. We roll right back up into our bridge. This time, we'll let the legs walk as wide as the mat. Holding there, then press the heels down, toes up, lift the hips a little higher, tap the butt down, press up and squeeze. Tap down, press up and squeeze. Shoulders relax. Breath lift. Really firming those glutes. We go up and we tap the knees together and open. We squeeze in and out. Pressing those heels down. Push the hips up a little bit higher. Hold the knees open and small pulses up, little lifts. Make sure the buns are tight. Get right where the hamstring and the glute are meeting for 5. Last one, drop the feet, walk the feet back to center. Set up for, we're going to be bringing one leg up. So make sure those hips are committed to staying up. Collarbone is wide, draw the abs in, bring your right leg into tabletop. Extend the right leg up to the sky. Flex the foot as the leg draws down to become even with the left leg, and then draw those toes right back up to the sky. It just goes down and lift for 3. Press. 2. Last one. Keep the toes to the sky and small pulses up. Pushing your right sits bone forward so the hip isn't dropping for 5. And last one, place that foot on the mat, push the hips up high, bring the left leg to tabletop. Extend the left leg up to the sky, flex the foot to bring the leg down parallel to the right leg, and point and lift. Flex and pull, point and lift. Firming up through the right hamstring and glute to support you here, pushing the left hip away. Keep this leg up to the sky, small press up, up. Breathe, shoulders relax for 5. Last one, place that foot on the mat, pushing both hips up evenly, lifting a little bit higher and small pulses up. Those thighs are magnetizing to stay parallel. Breathe, wrap the ribs in for 10. 5, relax the shoulders. And last one, sequentially imprinting the spine all the way back down, and then cross the right ankle over the left knee and pull the left knee in towards you, grabbing behind that left thigh. Let's take a little stretch here. Pushing the right thigh away, pull that left knee in a little bit deeper. And we'll exhale, switch sides. And release that. Let the legs go long, rolling over onto your left side. We're going to set up with the clamp first. So heels are in line with your tailbone. Push the top hip away. Super glue the heels together. Wrap the ribs and draw the abs in. We just lift the top knee and lower. Lift. So heels are together. Knees are bent. The top knee is just opening and closing. So squeeze the heels together. Let the knee just open and close. So starting with simple movement, just a clamshell. Starting to wake up the glute. Lift and lower, wrap those ribs in. And then hold that knee up and small pulses up. Keeping the natural curve of the spine here. And we're going to add rotation, knee to knee, toe to ankle. So internal rotation to external rotation while stabilizing the pelvis. In and out. Keep the knee down, turn the toes up in tiny pulses. And we'll bring that leg all the way down. knees forward, push the top hip away, flex the feet, sweeping the top leg up and lower to almost touch the bottom leg. It goes lift and lower, it goes lift. So the feet are flexed. Wrap those ribs in. Let it come down halfway, hold and draw little stirs with the knee. Energy into that heel, reverse it. Shoulders relax. And then we're gonna pull that knee into the chest and then kick the heel long. Pull in, extend, pull in, squeeze. And then holding it long, sweep it forward and point and sweep it back. Flex to bring it forward and point and sweep it back while the body stays still, just the leg is moving. In, press back. Hold this leg long and tiny pulses to the back, firming right up underneath your booty. Holding it there. Now, we're gonna meet on our forearms. Continue with the right leg. We're just rolling onto our forearms. Left knee underneath the left hip. Lift and lower. Squeeze. So still same leg. Bring your left hand onto your belly. So you're just balance, it's helping to balance you out a little more because now you have to stay centered. If that's not possible, you just keep the left hand down. Holding it up and tiny pulses up. Holding it up. Let's take the left hand, turn it towards the right forearm, prop your right hand up, flex that foot again, sweep the leg forward here, press back. Straight forward, press back. For 3. Hold this one forward and small pulse lift, lift, lift. So the heel's in front of your hip for 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Bring it all the way in. Press back, child's pose. Take a breath. Roll yourself all the way up. And we lay on the right side now. Setting up clamshells to start. Heels are in line with your tailbone. Squeeze the heels together. And we lift and lower. Drawing the abs in, wrap the ribs in. Bottom waistline energizes up off of the mat. Pushing the top hip away. Squeeze the glute. Squeeze. Wrap the ribs in. And let's hold it up and tiny pulses up. And we add our internal rotation in a knee, toe to ankle. Internal to external, while the pelvis stays still. Firming up the booty. Can you keep the top hip stacked on the bottom? And we'll keep the knee down, turn the toe up, pulses up. For 5. And we'll bring that leg down, sweep the knees forward to right in front of the hips, push the top hip away, flex the feet, sweeping the top leg up and down. Breathe, checking in with your center. The next one will come down, hold halfway, we draw our circles. Are you energizing out of that heel? You're pushing your top hip away and reverse. Hold it, press that leg out and draw it in. Press out, squeeze and draw it in. For 3. Everything else is still. This one's going to stay long, and we sweep the leg forward and point and sweep it back. The leg moves without letting the body rock all over the place. With control. One more, we pull this leg back, and the little pulse is back. For 5. And we keep that leg out, meet back on the forearms with the right knee underneath the right hip. And we just lift and lower. Maybe the right hand now comes onto the belly to help keep you balanced. 3. Holding it up, tiny pulses up, pulse up. Keep those hips squared, abs draw in because the abs are for sure working. And that right forearm now has to be on the mat because we're going to turn it into the left. Pop the left hand up, open the hips, flex to bring that top leg forward and sweep it back. So now a little more challenge for the abs while also getting to work the glute. Hold this one forward, small lifts, lift. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one, bring that leg in, press back, take a child's pose. And we're left with enough time to just quickly get in a little weights. Take one breath there. And then we're going to all the way up, grab your light set of weights. We'll just do quick little arms. We'll sit with the legs long. Back the thighs down, sit up tall, shift your weight forward. Maybe it's a micro bend in the knee, maybe the legs are straight, arms long, widen the collarbone, and little press in. Abs tight, palms are facing each other. Working on some posture muscles here, pressing in. So spine lengthens out of your pelvis, hold it in and press up, up. Holding them up, little bend of the elbow and press. Tiny bend and straighten. So you got to shift that weight forward. Little bend and straighten. And then hold them back and press up for 10. For 5. Last one, send the arms forward. Roll back halfway, tucking your pelvis underneath you. Slide the shoulders down and little tap of the weights in. Long neck. We're going to cross right over left, left over right. Just a little cross and cross while keeping the shoulders down. Lift out of your pelvic floor. And then hold it at center, flip the palms, bicep curls in and extend. So if it doesn't feel comfortable in the rolled back position, you always can be seated. Hold both arms out, turn the palms towards each other, alternate right and left and right and left. Lift out of your pelvic floor. Last one each way. Both arms out, turn the palms towards each other, hinge the arms open and hug around a big balloon. This is the last set. So 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back in, sitting up tall, place the weights down to the side. Take a quick little stretch across. Slide the shoulder away from the ear. And other side. Release that, come to meet back in your last plank here. Setting up for the plank and then into a downward dog, hands underneath your shoulders, extend the legs long, feeling super strong in your plank here. Zipping up through the thighs, into the pelvic floor, into the abs, wrap the ribs in, so shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, exhale, downward dog, lifting the sits bones high, feet are hip width apart. Any last little movement you need here. And when you're ready, begin to slowly walk your toes up to your hands. And hang out there in your forward fold. You can soften the knees, bend and straighten. Just releasing anything, whatever movement you need. And bring it back to center. Feet are hip width apart. Draw the abs in and slowly start to roll yourself up. Vertebra by vertebra. Head being the last thing that's going to lift. Pulling the shoulders away from the ears. Taking a nice big inhale up. Exhale it out. One more time. Big inhale up. And exhale. And Pilates Hotties, thank you for coming to class today.